He doesn't have to say, I hate you for you to feel it, right? You feel it in the way that he talks to you, the way that he looks at you. You feel resentment and contempt, the way everything you say seems to turn into some kind of problem. And then he says something soft right after, something kind, something that sucks you back in. So you stay. Listen, contempt doesn't usually come in screaming. Sometimes it sounds normal. So I want to cover 8 lies that men tell you when they actually hate you. And I'm saving the worst, most destructive lie for last. My name is Lisa Sonni. I'm a relationship coach, and I specialize in toxic and abusive relationships. On this channel, I expose the tactics of abusive men so women can see things more clearly. If this is something you're looking for, hit subscribe so you don't miss more videos like this. Let's get into the first lie. He'll tell you, I'm just stressed. Like that explains everything, right? Like stress is the reason, the justified reason to treat you like garbage, right? The way that he spoke to you should just be understood because he's stressed out. He's having a tough day. But this shows up after he's been verbally abusive or just cold and dismissive. And you hear it and you think, okay, well, I don't want to be making his day worse. I don't want to feed into his stress. So you make space for that. You tell yourself, oh, he's just under pressure. So you just adjust how you approach him, how you come to him. You give him more patience. You hold space. You hold in how you actually feel. And it just keeps happening. But the explanation stays the same and the behavior doesn't change because it doesn't have to. The next lie is that you're too sensitive. Now, I know this is basic gaslighting, right? I mean, my God, that's gaslighting 101. You bring something up and it immediately gets flipped. And now the focus, of course, is on your reaction. Your feeling gets treated like the issue and you start explaining to him why something hurt you. And he tells you that you're too sensitive or he was just joking. What's your problem? You take everything so seriously. Or worse, he'll Darvo you, deny, attack, reverse victim and offender. Suddenly you express how you're feeling and he tells you you're too sensitive and you're attacking him and now he's the victim. He'll stay on how you responded and this makes you pull back. It makes you kind of go, well, fine, I won't take things so personally. And you start to question your own threshold. You let things slide that you never thought you would. You don't trust yourself anymore. And in future, you hesitate to bring things up because you don't want to be called sensitive. You don't want things flipped on you. And you feel the shift inside you, but it feels like there's nothing you can do about it. Number 3 is a little bit on a similar thread here, right? When he says, that's not what I meant. And you feel the impact of it immediately. You know what he meant. It's confusing though, because he has all these reasons, right? Again, maybe he's having a bad day. Maybe you misunderstood him. But all of this lands in you. You feel it. You sit here questioning, what did he mean? Why would he say that if he didn't mean it? That was a really mean thing to say. Who just blurts out these awful things? But a guy like this, he's gaslighting you. He wants you to focus on his alleged intent and not on the impact. And I'll always say, listen, intent matters. But it's not the most important part. The impact is the most important part. And that's the part that someone should be focusing on when they're in a healthy relationship. It doesn't matter if he didn't mean to hurt you, it hurt you. Though I will tell you that most abusive men absolutely do mean to hurt you. And then they just hide behind, I didn't mean it, as if that's some kind of justification. When a man continues to show you patterns of verbal abuse, name calling, hurtful behavior, cruel behavior, and he constantly says, I didn't mean it, you don't understand, that wasn't my intent, that is a man who is repeatedly doing the same thing, and that demonstrates that he absolutely knows what he's doing. This is just one of the lies men tell you when they secretly hate you. And here you are looking for where you got it wrong, and you're confused, and you walk away totally unsure of what actually happened, even though you felt it clearly, but you don't trust yourself anymore. Number 4, one of my personal favorites, God, you always make everything a problem, right? You bring up one thing that matters, one thing that hurt you, and he's going to turn it into something bigger. He's going to make it this thing that you always do, right? You're the one who always creates these issues. You know, we wouldn't have problems if you wouldn't just constantly be bringing up old shit. He wants you to swallow your concern, swallow your feelings. And then the worst part is that this conditions you to start defending why it matters, why this is still an actual problem, why he should listen to you. But he stays focused on your pattern, and then you change how you bring things up. You don't want to bring up problems, so you become a little kinder, or you just don't bring it up at all. You want to be easier because he tells you you're so difficult. So you try to be easy, and you hold more feelings in, and you question if you're too much. You stop saying things altogether. This is how you lose yourself in a relationship like this. Number 5 is something that so many women that I talk to have experienced, right? You made me do this. You made me yell at you. You made me check on you. You made me go through your phone. It's you, it's your behavior. So his behavior is always going to get handed back to you. And then you ask yourself, well, what did I do? And how did I trigger that? Women are actually far more likely than men to internalize blame. They're wondering what they did. When there's a problem in their relationship, women are like, what did I do? How can I fix this? How can I make it better? When a problem happens in a relationship for a man, he immediately seeks something external. And I'm not talking about abusive men. I'm talking about all men and all women. Studies show. Of course, it doesn't apply to every single man and every single woman, but broadly speaking, these are the patterns. Now you make this about an abusive man. Those dudes hate accountability. They don't want to take accountability. They'll make everything your fault. They genuinely believe you made them do this. That's why the biggest garbage trope on the internet right now is that women don't take accountability. You push a man to tell you what he means by that, he's going to explain to you that men are provoked by women and women don't take accountability for making men do what they do because they're not accountable for it. They're just these weak men who get provoked by women. Women can pull all the strings, right? Men have no ability to self-regulate. At least that's what I'm hearing them say. They're always going to try to connect your action to his response. And the worst part is that this works, right? You start taking responsibility for things that are not even yours, and you adjust your behavior to prevent his reaction, to make it so that he doesn't say those things. So you talk more carefully and you try to stay ahead of his reactions. You carry all of this and it sticks. Now, number 6 is something along the lines of, you're impossible to please, or nothing I ever do is good enough for you. You put effort in and you adjust and you try so hard to meet what's being asked of you, and it never actually lands, right? Something else is always going to come up. You're never enough. You got to try harder. So you do. You work harder. You think you're missing something. You always feel like you just can't get it right. This is one of the many tactics that they're using. It's actually called moving the goalposts. But a way that they do that is by telling you that you're impossible to please. This makes you try to appear like you're pleased with anything. It makes you lower your standards. And that's the whole point. A man like this, he wants you to have standards in the gutter so that you qualify to have a man like this. It makes you put in so much effort to just be easy, right? You want to be the easy woman, the chill woman, the woman who's easy to please. No, thank you. Women should be done with that kind of behavior. We, of course, expect reciprocity. We expect relationships where there is mutual good treatment. Now, number 7 is, I never said that, right? You remember the moment clearly. You remember exactly how you felt when it happened, and he just denies that it happened. He just says, you're crazy. You made that up. I never said that. That didn't happen. So you pause and you start going like, wait, what? And you try to remember. You go back and look at text messages, or you start using memories and saying, no, I remember we were standing in the kitchen and you said this. And he'll say, no, you're crazy. You don't remember. I wasn't wearing that. I didn't say that. That's not where we were standing at all. You're nuts. You are always going to be the problem. And so you feel so unsure and you look for proof. And this whole feeling starts to build over time where you just don't trust yourself because he's gaslighting you. These are basic things that are showing up in all of these abusive relationships, and women are missing it. It's not just that he's abusive. He doesn't love you. Abusers can't stand you. They cannot stand women in general. They do not like their wives and girlfriends. You're inconvenient. You're a burden. He doesn't like you. He doesn't love you. He hates you. Hate doesn't always look extremely overt and loud. These men can hate you in the most covert ways. This brings us to number 8, the biggest, worst lie of all. I love you. This is the most destructive because it gets said in between everything else, right? After he's horrible, after he's mean, after he's calling you names, he tells you he loves you. After he stonewalled you for 3 days and made you feel like a ghost in your own house, he says, I love you. And don't get caught up so much on the words. The truth is, a lot of these men may say, I love you in actual words, and many of them just let things go back to the way that they were. They might be a little bit kind to you. You might get flowers. They might say, what's for dinner? And the silent treatment's over now. These men will suck you back in with words and actions that look and feel like love, and they are completely empty. Because a man that can call you a B word one day and tell you he loves you the next, that is a dangerous man. And women stay because they believe that their husband loves them. They believe that their boyfriend wouldn't say that they love them when they don't. Most women in these abusive relationships are experiencing traumatic cognitive dissonance. This is when you're holding two beliefs. He's good and he's bad. He's abusive, but he loves you. And the truth is, those things do not coexist. A man who is abusive is a man who hates you. And when you feel stuck in a relationship like this, when you actually feel like maybe you're trauma bonded or attached or you love this person, you question your own reactions and you hesitate before you speak and you twist yourself and you explain yourself more. You replay things. You're walking on eggshells, but you can't quite name that, right? It's just this sort of baseline feeling of discomfort. And often this garbage gets explained away with like, men, right? Your husband's just grumpy. That's how men are. He's just not very emotional. He just says things sometimes that he doesn't mean. And you miss the fact that this man has contempt for you. You miss that he doesn't even like you as a person. But so many women feel this disdain, this disgust. They don't like you. If you feel it, listen to that feeling, lean into that feeling and face the harsh reality. Listen less to what a guy like this says and actually stay with what it does to you. Subscribe if you're not already. And if you want to leave a man like this, if you want to feel strong, if you want to never go back to having a man like this, you can work with me one-on-one or join my group coaching programs. I offer 2 different programs. One is called Rise and Rebuild, geared towards women who have exited a terrible relationship like this and want to focus on knowing themselves and have a sense of direction for where they want their life to go and who they want to be. And then I have a program called Trauma Bond Recovery Group Coaching Program. And that program is to help women who are in relationships with men like this. And it helps them break the attachment, create distress tolerance skills, resolve cognitive dissonance, and be able to make a decision about being in this relationship or not. Thanks so much for watching. Hit subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.